we thank you for those images. So with what she says, it's plain to see that stars are made in the center and then are sent out into one of the curved arms of our galaxy. Here is what the mind of God says: the one who is not created cannot be grasped in the imagination. Indeed, all things become clear through him, and he is manifest in all things, appearing mainly to those to whom he wishes to convey knowledge of himself. It is God then that everlastingly governs all the sources of life in the cosmos. He is the eternal dispenser of life itself. But when life has once been dispensed to all the sources of life, the supply of it is maintained in accordance with eternal law, and the manner of its maintenance I will proceed to explain. The cosmos moves within the very life of eternity and is contained in that very eternity where all life issues, and for this reason it is impossible that it should at any time come to a stand, or be destroyed, since it is walled in and bound together, so to speak, by eternal life. What is this eternal life? It has to be God's spirit life force that he floods the whole galaxy with and uses for everything to accomplish his will in what he creates. And the cosmos is itself the dispenser of life to all things in it here below, and the place in which are contained all things which are subject to control beneath the sun. The movement is of the cosmos itself, consisting of a twofold working. Life is infused into the cosmos from without by eternity, and the cosmos infuses life into all things that are within it, distributing all things according to fixed and determined relations of number and time, by the operation of the sun and the movements of the stars. He uses the word cosmos in several ways. The cosmos is wrapped around the earth, and no doubt it feeds life to earth and everything on it or in it. But he also uses cosmos to describe our solar system. However, he uses the word universe for our solar system, and he uses the word supercosmos for everything that God creates. He teaches that the first thing first created is the second God that becomes the all, which is our supercosmos. Understand this well. Our first cosmos is our earth and the life spirit force that we are wrapped in. The second is our solar system that's wrapped in the Oort cloud, and the next is the all, which is our supercosmos, which is our galaxy, the first created God that is called the second God. So it's the second God that God calls his body. So that makes his holy mind in the primordial position in the center of our second God, our home, the Milky Way, and it's a fixed position and can never change. Now, one very important thing you have to understand is that our Creator God is a spirit, a hidden spirit, the spirit of spirits, the great spirit of the Egyptians, the divine spirit. God is from the beginning. He existed from of old and was when nothing else had being. He existed when nothing else existed, and what exists he created after he had come into being. He is the Father of beginnings. God is the Eternal One. He is eternal and infinite and endures forever and ever. God is hidden and no man knows his form. No man has been able to seek out his likeness. He is hidden to gods and to men. He is a mystery to his creatures. No man knows how to know him. His name remains hidden. His name is a mystery to his children. His names are innumerable, they are manifold and none knows their number. God is truth and he lives by truth and feeds thereon. He is the King of truth and he has established the earth thereon. So the main principle is, don't strive against the truth, if you do you will fail. And the next I want to highlight is, know that the soul must be cleansed of its darkness, so you may enter the portals of light. That portal is your mind, and it's through your mind God speaks to you. It's through your mind you realize what the truth is. He says, holy is God, that determines to be known, and is known of his own, or those that are his. For God, and the Father, and the good, is neither spoken nor heard. He will appear to the eyes of your mind. So it's through your mind he appeared to the eyes in a vision that Thoth speaks of, yes, your mind and not your brain. We are spirit beings dwelling in a fleshly body, observing the glory of our majestic Father that proves himself to us every day. It's that spirit which is your soul that responds to the truth when God speaks to you. Your mind is wrapped in your soul, and your soul is the tomb of your mind spirit. Notice, for with this living sentient being alone is God familiar, in the night by dreams, in the day by symbols or signs. And by all things does he foretell him of things to come, by birds, by fowls, by the spirit, or wind, and by an oak. Wherefore also man professes to know things that have been, things that are present, and things to come. So the next principle you follow is this word, O Son, worship, and adore. And the only service of God is not to be evil. So that word is God's divine force you find in all life, and it powers all stars, and stars powers our earth, and our earth powers us. Now understand this well, learn of the law that exists, holding the stars in their balance by the force of the primordial mist. It's that primordial mist that carries stars from the bulge to their assigned location in one of the curved arms of our second God. You can see the workings of the spirit force, working out where stars go. I will put up pictures showing you the work it does. Notice. That was some striking star images, and that's just a few. There are many more we didn't show. Now in the thought God will always love you, we have to place his holy personality in your mind. So notice our next part. Thoth explains to Asclepius what we read in Book 6 of the Hermetics. He says, the supreme good, O Asclepius, is not in anything, if not in God alone. Rather, the supreme good is always God himself. If this is so, it is the real nature of all movement and of all generation. Nothing is deprived of this real nature, which has an energy that brings things to rest round itself. It is not in want and has no excess. It is completely full and supplies all needs. It is in the beginning of all things. For in saying that the provider of everything is good, I am saying that it is always good in every way. This supreme good belongs to nothing else but to God alone. For he lacks nothing, or has any desire to possess anything that may render him evil. nor can anything be lost to him which would make him grieve, for grief is the heritage of evil. No being is mightier than God, by whom he could be treated as an enemy, nor is it possible for him to suffer any injustice by anyone, and therefore he will love everyone. No being is disobedient to him which would provoke his anger, nor is any being wiser which would provoke his jealousy. Wow, he will love everyone and never will he get mad at you. Now that's pure love, and he gives it to us every 24/7 day after day. Look again, the supreme good is not in anything, if not in God alone. Rather, the supreme good is always God himself. If this is so, it is the real nature of all movement and of all generation. Nothing is deprived of this real nature, which has an energy that brings things to rest round itself. It is not in want and has no excess, it is completely full and supplies all needs, it is in the beginning of all things. For in saying that the provider of everything is good, I am saying that it is always good in every way. What is born is full of suffering, for birth itself is suffering, and when there is suffering the supreme good is never there, and when this good is there is no suffering at all. Therefore the supreme good is only in God, or rather God himself is this good. Thus, there is only the term good for men, never its reality, for that is impossible. And I am thankful to God for putting even a taste of the knowledge of the supreme good into my mind, because this good cannot exist in the world. For the world is the sum total of evil, God the unlimited goodness, or rather goodness the limitless God. For the excellencies of beautiful things are round his true nature, and appear in some way even more pure and simple, for they are of God. One must have courage to say, O Asclepius, that the essence of God, if indeed he has an essence, is beauty, but no beauty and goodness are to be found in the things of the cosmos. His nature is what you want to imitate and not be evil. He says there are people that strives to be good and are unaware that they are already worshipping God. Are you one of them?